In this video, I will be sharing a detailed analysis of the reading assessments I conducted with my case study student Vale. Over the course of 3 separate days, I administered a couple of assessments, which were an oral reading assessment with a comprehension conversation, a high frequency word assessment, and the core phonics survey. I will be walking you through my findings at each of these assessments, highlighting Vale's strengths and areas of need, and I will conclude with some implications in her ongoing instruction. So the first assessment I'm going to be talking about is her oral reading assessment. So Vale read a leveled book, La Gatita Tita, which is a level C fiction text. Her reading accuracy was 91%, which indicates that this text is within her instructional level. However, while she did have a high accuracy rate, her reading was very choppy. She would read words in syllabus, and she would do that for all the words, but then she wouldn't blend together the words. So it would be like estaba, and she would continue reading, and she wouldn't blend it. She had the 7 errors that she had while reading. It was because she was omitting sounds. So for estaba, instead of saying estaba, she would take the T out and say estaba, and she would continue reading. And she did that for mostly all the errors that she had. So these errors are primarily visual, which suggests that Vale is having a difficult time blending syllables together smoothly. This is an area of need for Vale. She needs more practice in blending letters and syllables to achieve a more fluid and natural reading rhythm. In terms of comprehension, I conducted a comprehension conversation after she read the book. I asked both literal questions about the text and higher level questions that requires inferencing or thinking beyond the text. Vale was able to recall basic details of the story, but did not give a lot of detail. For the higher level questions, she was also able to answer very basic questions. She would just restate things she saw in the book, but she wouldn't really inference. In the questions she was having trouble with, I would try to prompt and change up the wording of the question to see if that would help her out, and that did not. When I would do that, I saw that she started to get frustrated, and she would just say, I don't know, I don't remember, and I stopped prompting because I saw that she was getting frustrated, and I didn't want her to not answer any other questions and not want to participate in other assessments I was going to do with her. So a strength that she had, she was able to answer very simple questions. She did have limited detail, but she was able to answer some from the text, but she needs help to develop her inferential and detailed comprehension. I think her comprehension is really affected by the way she is reading, because she is so focused on sounding out these words that she's not paying attention to what's happening in the text, because she's paying attention to how to say the words. So the next assessment I did was the high frequency word assessment. It was group A, so that's one of the first groups that are important words that you should know. So Vale correctly identified 27 out of 34 words, which shows that she has a good grasp on these high frequency words, which is a strength. However, she did have difficulty when it was more complex syllables to sound them out. She would just be she would try, but then after she saw she wasn't getting it, she would just say, I don't know, and skip it. This suggests, that she needs a little bit more practice with her high frequency words. The only thing is, I am not that worried about these high frequency words, because in Spanish, you can sound out any of these high frequency words using their sounds, because Spanish is a language where each sound goes with each letter. So there's no letter that's silent or anything like that. You just say those. So with time, those will come. So I think that's why I wanted to focus on, for her next assessment that I did was the core phonics assessment, because I wanted to see which part she was having the most trouble with. So that was the last assessment I conducted, was the core phonics survey. The results from the survey confirmed what I had already observed during the running record and the high frequency word assessment. Vale struggles significantly with sílabas trabadas, which are complex syllables. These are syllables that involve consonant clusters such as tra, tri, sopo. Vale had difficulty decoding and blending these syllables into words. This indicates that Vale's decoding difficulties are not just related to individual sounds, but to the more complex text of blending consonants within syllables. Based on these results, I also decided to skip the nonsense portion of the survey, as I thought that if I introduced those words that didn't follow, that aren't real words, she would get more frustrated. And since she already is struggling with sounding out real words, introducing nonsense words, I thought it was gonna hinder her confidence. So I focused on the syllables and phonics that she was struggling with instead of introducing something new. So based on these assessments, I identified several implications for Vale's classroom instruction moving forward. So she needs to, Vale would benefit from more focused practice on blending syllables, particularly sílabas trabadas, which are complex syllables. I plan to introduce activities that focus on blending complex syllables such as tra, and tri, pla, into whole words. These will help Vale improve her decoding skills and build fluency in reading more complex words. To help Vale read more smoothly, I will model fluent reading for her. This will include showing her how to blend words together more naturally and how to adjust her pace to match the rhythm of the text. By practicing alongside her and demonstrating proper pacing and expression, I hope to improve her overall fluency and comprehension. Given that Vale struggles with decoding sílabas trabadas, I will incorporate phonemic awareness activities that specifically target these syllables. I will use visual aids, manipulatives, and interactive exercises to help her break down these words into smaller, more manageable syllables and practice blending them. This will help Vale gain more confidence in her ability to decode longer, more complex words. In conclusion, while Vale has demonstrated strengths in recognizing high frequency words and recalling basic details from a story, she faces challenges with blending syllables and making inferences from text. By focusing on these areas, particularly blending complex syllables and improving fluency, I believe Vale will continue to progress as a reader. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.